I think one of the things that was so influential for us when we were growing up, and at least for me, right, during the 80s was the arcades. Arcades were so huge during that time, particularly the early 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Now, I didn't really get into them until, I was born in 78, right? So
Yeah.
I was 12 when the 80s ended, so really the bulk of my 80s is because of my brother's influence on me as well.
Sure.
I lived through him, but he was 9 years older than me. Then I also had a brother who was 3 years older than me.
Right.
And oftentimes we would go to the arcades. And one of the arcades that we went to was out in Palm Desert. I was a spoiled kid. My dad was he provided immensely for our family as a dentist. And so what we would do is we had a second place out in Palm Desert. We went to the mall out there in Palm Desert, and I think it was just a Palm Desert mall, and they had this amazing arcade, really dark, kind of seedy arcade.
Cool.
Now, back in the day, I don't know, you probably don't have this because you were older a little bit
Right.
by a few years, but my mom would drop my brother and I off at the arcade for hours. Right, she would just give us some money and she would drop us off. That was our babysitting. And this one arcade that we were fully obsessed with was Golden Axe.
Oh, that's a great game.
Right, Golden Axe and Altered Beast by Sega.
Yeah.
Right? And we'll go into kind of the details of those games later on in other podcasts.
Sure.
We don't want to make this just about video games. We're not going to make, there will be some podcasts on movies,
Right.
all those things. But so we're in this arcade. My mom's shopping. She drops us off at the arcade. And we're playing this, and we're obsessed with this game called Golden Axe.
Right.
And I don't know if you remember, it's that game where it had all this magic stuff that was just, you saw it on the screen.
I want to go back and play it.
Yeah, this is kind of game where you would jump on this weird chicken licking thing in the beginning, and then a dragon, and then just, anyway, so there's a really cool scenario. They built it off of Conan the Barbarian back in the day.
It's crazy.
So we're there, we're playing, and I have to go to the bathroom so bad.
Yeah.
Right now I'm 10 years old.
Sure.
Right. So I have some working knowledge of how things work. Right?
Right.
And so I go to the guy who's really depressed about his job behind the counter, working at an arcade.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there with his head down. I don't know what he was doing.
Crossword, because that's they.
It wasn't Sudoku. I'll tell you that right now, because it wasn't big
Way
at the time.
beyond, way
Yeah. So he's just sitting there kind of depressed about life. I'm in an arcade. This is my full-time job. And I say, hey, excuse me, sir, where's the bathroom? Without looking up, he just points to the corner of the room.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of going, okay. I look to the corner of the room.
Of the dark room.
Of the dark, creepy, seedy arcade.
Yeah.
And so I'm going, okay, it's darker over there,
yeah.
And I go over there, and I'm kind of going, I don't see a door anywhere.
Right.
And I'm starting to kind of panic because I have to go to the bathroom. Because, as a 10-year-old, you're going to play an arcade game literally for as long as you can until just the last moment until you're like, okay, now it's emergency time. I need to find a restroom.
I need a popcorn bucket. I got you.
I need something to catch it. Or
Yeah.
if not, we're in a world of hurt.
Yeah.
It just so happens I was in a world of hurt.
Oh, that's the worst.
So I couldn't find the door, Larry. So I'm looking for the door, and we're in the arcade, and my brother's still playing Golden Axe. He could care less about his little brother because I'm 3 years younger than him, like I said. And I go to my brother, I'm like, Josh, I can't find the restroom. He's like, Danny, just go find the restroom. I'm playing this game.
Yeah. I'm not going to lose a guy over
Yeah. I don't care about you.
Yeah.
I'm beating Golden Axe right now.
Right.
So, we ever beat it. But anyway, so I ran outside really quick, and I was just looking. I think they had a hot dog on a stick stand and a couple of the other places right there. And I don't find the restroom because I'm really paranoid and panicking at this point. And I have to go so bad. I am about to lose it. And so I run back into the arcade. I can't find that dark area that this weird, creepy dude is telling me about. My brother Josh isn't helping me. I ran outside, and they're not helping me. I can't find the stupid restroom. I kid you not, I have issues about this right now. And I'm kind of going, look, what am I going to do? Now, as a 10-year-old, if you have to go to the bathroom so bad, what would you do?
When you're 10 years old, it's like, I'm going to run somewhere where nobody can see me. Yeah, I would run out, if I could run out of the building and not get mugged. I don't know. Where were you again?
It's daytime. It was daytime.
You're in Palm Springs. It's all retired people walking around. No one's going to hurt you.
Yeah, they would probably run me over.
Yeah.
Okay, with their golf cars or something like that. Anyways, I couldn't find anything. I'm in a world of hurt, and I just said, you know what? I would rather drop shorts and go to the bathroom than do it in my pants.
Yeah.
Right? So I literally ran behind an arcade game, and I don't think anybody saw me. I dropped shorts and I went pee all on the floor. And it wasn't a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it wasn't a little bit.
Please tell me it wasn't a good game that you peed all over.
Honestly,
could it be like Cubert?
I think it was like the Star Wars vector graphics machine.
Oh, why? Did it short out?
I don't
spark?
know. Like, okay, so I want to think that maybe I did short it out, but that was just like maybe a romanticized version of the story. I'm not entirely sure, but I know that the guy behind the counter was looking down at his countertop. For some reason, he had this ESP moment or something like that and knew that I was creating a puddle behind this machine. And so he like makes a scene, like stops everything, turns on all the lights, right? And he's giving me stuff.
No.
Yeah, he's giving me stuff to clean up this mess, and I am mortified.
Did he yell at you and go, "The bathroom was right there"?
No, he was just angry. And then and my brother Josh at that time like grabbed my hand and pulled me to the bathroom. Now the lights were on, I could see stuff. For some reason it was like this hidden trap door to a bathroom.
The wall was black and the word bathroom or restroom was black.
There was no restroom word. You just kind of had to guess. No, it was like a silver handle and lock. No, bolted. But no, so anyways, I ended up cleaning that, but I was so mortified. Caused a scene. My brother's like, "Damie, you are the biggest idiot ever." And I'm like, "Really? Like, you couldn't have just helped me out earlier? Like, what am I supposed to do?
You're responsible for me.
Like, I cannot find a restroom. I'm panicking. I'm running all over the place. Like, what am I supposed to do?" So,
oh man.
Anyways, I think I ruined a Star Wars vector graphics game
what a day.
while playing Golden Axe, Altered Beast, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in there.
So Dragon's Lair, the first Laserdisc animated game, was 75 cents in a lot of places.
Oh, okay.
So my story is a little bit different. Mm-hmm. I didn't short anything out. We did take advantage of the arcade system. So a buddy, one of my best friends I grew up with, we went to college together, and he worked at a popular pizza place with animatronic animals.
Animatronic animals. Gee, I wonder what you're referencing right now.
Gorillas, monkeys, and he worked there on the
week. I was about to drop a name on who started it. On who started it. Yeah.
He was working there, and I didn't have a car. So I'd take him to work, and it would be like 3 nights a week he's working there.
Wait, you didn't have a car, but you'd take him to work?
In his car. I'm sorry. Yeah, he would let me borrow his car for the night if I wanted to go hang out with buddies. And normally what it would be is I'd take him to work, and I'd hang out, I'd play games. Because at this place, years ago, even though it was a pizza place and kids were there and, a little entertainment, those arcades were still kind of seedy.
Oh, they were awesome.
They're different than they are now. Like now it's like bright lights, security, you can't walk in there. Yeah, it's really, which is good, but it's just a different time, right?
Well, they don't have the arcades anymore. Now it's
it's like crawl through a tube. It's like a big habit trail.
Hamster?
Yeah.
Big hamster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, basically.
Another old reference. Kids are like, what's a habit trail? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. But so he worked there, and every once in a while, all of them had to take turns dressing up like the characters and walking through the arcade and handing out. And so when they would have parties and stuff, they'd hand out the hats that a lot of the characters wear, like derbies and baseball caps.
Okay.
So one of the tricks was I'd take him to work. He'd get in his costume, and we'd wait a little bit, about 20 minutes, and then I'd go in the arcade. And I'd see him walking around in the costume, patting kids on the head like you're at Disneyland or something. And then he would walk up to me with a derby filled to the brim with game tokens. It weighed about 30 pounds.
What?
And he would just hand it to me, and then he'd walk off. And I literally, it's probably about $200 worth of tokens.
Way.
Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He would just, and then I'd just walk around. He'd have to do it where kids aren't watching, because the kids would go, "Hey, what about me?"
Yeah,
and really. I'm like 19.
You're supposed to be my friend.
Yeah. Like I'm 19, and these 6-year-olds are going, the big character is giving me.
That's kind of creepy. What do they have going on there?
Yeah, exactly. So I would sit there and I would play Dragon's Lair. And needless to say, I did beat the game. Yeah. I finally beat the game. That is one of the first games, I would say, that you could actually beat where there's an ending.
Yeah.
When you think about a lot of the games when I was in high school, Donkey Kong and all that stuff, they never ended. They just got harder and harder to where you just couldn't beat it.
Gotcha.
You couldn't. So there was no story to it. So this is one of the first
completion.
Ones where, So when you were done with Dragon's Lair, you're like, okay. But another,
we love, my brother and I love Dragon's Lair.
Did you ever beat it?
No. Oh heck no! I never beat that game. I don't think I ever beat any arcade.
It's
game.
a tough.
We got
one.
pretty far on Golden Axe, but no, not Dragon's Lair. But Dragon's Lair, like that stays in you. Like I feel
it's like watching a movie. You're watching a cartoon, and you remember. You're like, remember that movie? No, it was a game. Oh yeah,
Dirt, right?
Dirt Dirk the Daring.
Dirk the Daring.
I
Yeah.
think, and is it Daphne?
Daphne. Yeah.
Daphne's the
yeah.
princess.
Yep.
So that's one part of the experience, but the other part we did.
So you worked the system, though, by the way.
We did work the system. We also worked the system for food. So one of the
Do
things
tell.
that this
Do tell.
one of the things at this place is that they obviously made pizza. They also made birthday cakes. And the rule is, obviously this is a rule anywhere, if you make a birthday cake for some young child and you spell their name wrong, the parent is going to go, we need that fixed.
Yeah.
So they
You can't fix it.
No, they basically need to make a new cake.
What?
So
They can't just take some of the top frosting off? and-
because these cakes are sheet cakes that they buy and they're in the freezer and they
right.
pull them out and it's like we're gonna
They
wipe
aren't baking them in the back there at this animatronics place?
I know you would think with the robots and the pizza, but the same thing goes
The
with the
places
pizza.
to pee right behind the
I know
arcades?
they do have
Yeah.
a section, the pee section for arcades.
No, they don't.
So it's same thing with the pizzas, right? So if you make the wrong pizza, take it back and they got to throw the pizza away. So what would happen would be...
Wait a second. I'm sorry. I was still laughing about the pee spots. So, wait. So you said they did the same thing with the pizzas?
Yeah, if you make the wrong pizza, you got to throw it out.
Oh.
So what would happen is that on the nights that I wasn't playing video games, I'd just drop them off and go back to our apartment.
Wait for the phone call.
I wait for the phone call. He would call me. He goes, "Dinner's ready."
Oh.
So what would happen is that they'd spell somebody's
Okay.
name wrong on the cake.
Caveat. Kids don't
Oh yeah,
do this.
don't do this.
Yeah, do not
My
do
kids,
this.
your kids,
And
anybody
don't be
listening-
behind arcades as
Yeah.
well. Like,
See-
two things. Don't do anything that we're talking about right
Yeah,
now.
see, isn't that fun? We're teaching life lessons.
Yeah, Noah,
Yeah.
Christian, Mia,
Yeah.
don't do any of this
Gracie,
stuff.
Sarah,
Yeah.
just laugh at Dad. So he'd call me, dinner's ready, and what would happen is they'd spell a name wrong on a cake. The cake would get put up in a box, they'd wrap it up like a towel, and they'd put it under the dumpster. They'd do the same thing for the pizza. He knew I was coming. I would drive up with his car, dinner was served, and we'd have food for the next couple of days.
It's like your dealer, bro.
And
That's
totally.
Like,
Well,
it's behind this animatronics place, like in the dark. You're kind of going, go.
Well, people go like, well, how come you didn't get caught or anything like that? Well, it's like, not that it's right, but everybody there was doing it.
Yeah.
They might not have been like taking it out to the dumpster. It would have been like, I'm going to put this in my car.
Yeah. So it's more obvious. You guys are a little sly.
Because managers were doing it, but it was like, just take it out of the dumpster because we did it like literally twice a month, because
Yeah,
it's
not too much.
Yeah, it's something where it's like, look, it's pretty obvious because, you think
And-
about inventory.
You want to have some integrity.
Well, you can't go, I don't know what this particular branch has thrown out 45 acres. These
What
guys
is wrong with this
Can you
place?
guys not spell?
Who's got massive
I
dyslexia
know.
for the cake stuff?
Yeah. How many ways can you spell Dave? It's like stuff like that. So it's like stuff like that, or it's like we make 3 pizzas: cheese, pepperoni, and Canadian bacon.
How do you screw that up?
Yeah, it's like, how did you
that's awesome.
forget to put the cheese on it, and it was just a sauce pizza?
Why
So-
is all the cheese on half of this?
Yeah.
What moron?
But it's just really funny, right? That we did it.
that's pretty
That's something like you could never, and yeah, obviously we don't want you doing that. But hey, it's been decades. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and I mean, this is so funny because wait a second, was it the one that's right next to us by the airport?
Oh no, it's where I went to college.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because that's where I went. I played video games all the
Yeah.
time there. I mean, that's where I actually, when I referenced the Star Wars Vector Graphics, I played that religiously
Oh, yeah,
there.
that's a great game.
I don't remember playing Dragon's Lair there. I remember going to other places for Dragon's Lair, but I don't remember